Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for allowing me the privilege of speaking at our graduation. We've spent the past week reflecting and preparing for graduation, closing off classes and thinking about the future. In this time, I have realized what an accomplishment it is to have made it this far, and we have made it. We are now graduates, and not just any graduates, but the founding MBA graduates of the African Leadership University School of Business, and that is something to celebrate. There were times when we thought it would never end, and times when we didn't want it to ever end. But we have now reached just that, the end. We could never have taken this journey without our friends and family who are here today supporting us, as well as those who could not make it, but support us still. Thank you to you all. Thank you to our faculty and the MBA team members for getting us here, even through last-minute extension requests, missed flights, and intensive mornings when we might have slept through classes. Thank you for getting us to the finish line. I want to start us off with a story. My parents, who are here today, spent their 20s and 30s involved in the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. This is not a story of them being heroes, but a story about being on the right side of history. My parents' involvement in the struggle put them on the right side of history. It also gave me an answer to a question that many of us like to ask ourselves, a question about what would I have done? What would I have done if I had lived in Nazi Germany? What would I have done if I had lived in Cairo during the Arab Spring? What would I have done if I had been a white South African during apartheid? Would I have stood by and lived a comfortable life? Or would I have done something to be on the right side of history? My parents' involvement in the struggle gave me, if not an answer, then an imperative to strive to do the right thing and to have the courage to be on the right side of history. This is the reason I ended up at ALU. It is the reason we are all here, to make a change for the better. When I consider that decision to join ALU, it feels like a pivotal moment in my life. When we're lucky enough, we recognize these pivotal moments for what they are and give them the attention they deserve. I have had 3 such pivotal moments that I can see so far. The first was when I met my partner, Adam. I stood at a literal and metaphorical crossroads, and I remember thinking that the choice I made would change just about everything. I made a choice, and here we are, more than 10 years later, never having regretted it for a second. The second was deciding to leave South Africa and pursue my master's in creative writing in the UK. I left home without a clear sense of what I would do in London or how I would pay for my master's. What I did have in that moment was the understanding that this was something important, something vital to me. And it was one of the most fulfilling and rewarding experiences I have ever had. The third was our decision to leave London and to join ALU. This was a choice that set us back on the path of doing something bigger than ourselves, something that will put us on the right side of history. And so here we all are, having made this pivotal decision, striving to do better and to be better. And what a ride it has been. Over the past 2 years, we've seen 7 babies born, celebrated 4 marriages, and say goodbye to many friends that started this journey with us. We have gotten to know each other in ways we never expected, found incredible friends and sadhus that will last us a lifetime. And we've learned a bit along the way, too. And now here we all are, graduating, being sent out into the world. For this, we will need to take courage. We will need to be open to feedback, keep surrounding ourselves with incredible people, and continue to refine our leadership practice as we step into the future. I spoke earlier of pivotal moments and that change the course of a life. We all faced a pivotal moment like this almost 2 years ago now when we joined this program. And this is another such pivotal moment. Our choice today is different. It is at once more difficult than anything we have ever done before, and easier, as we are more prepared for it than ever before. Our choice now is to either continue with life as we have been living it, or to step into an African century with boldness and courage and determination. Fred always tells us to do hard things, and doing hard things takes courage, my friends, so I implore you to take courage. Many of us will leave here today looking forward to a break, to finally getting some sleep, and to getting our weekends back. Unfortunately for you all, I'm afraid I have to tell you that the real work starts now. People speak of an African century to come, but that African century relies on us Africans right here to make it so. It is our job to usher in this African century, and we will do so with the integrity and courage that this institution has afforded us. All of us have a role to play in the African century to come. For some of us, it is to be the entrepreneurs that reform the way we approach agriculture on the continent, or bring shared service centers to Nigeria, creating thousands of jobs, that revolutionize how we approach and utilize our cities. For some of us, it is to be the incubators of the future leaders currently completing their undergrads in Mauritius and Rwanda. It is to us that falls the role of being the HR execs that hire ALU graduates, welcoming them into our co-working spaces, and creating an ecosystem that ensures not only their success, but the success of the continent. For yet others, our role will be in having the courage to take up public office. Our vision for a prosperous, peaceful, and world-leading Africa is near at hand. It is our job to make it so. We must take courage to see all the challenges and do it anyway. The courage to stand up to corruption and ineptitude, even when it is the way things work. The courage to take a chance on a classmate with a crazy idea. With everything we have gained over these past 2 years, and everything we are today, and the courage to continue, the African century will become a reality, so that in 20 years, or in 40, we will be able to tell our children, or even grandchildren, when they ask us where we were at the dawn of the African century, that we were on the right side of history. So as I leave you to the next speaker, I will do so with one reminder. Our very first Drucker course told us that it's not what you learn today that matters, but what you put into action on Monday. Courage, my friends, starts on Monday. The African century is at hand, and I believe that we are the right people for the job. We have the right tools at our disposal, if only we will believe and take courage and use them. And so, my fellow graduates, my wish for you and my exhortation is this, that you will have the courage you need to make this our African century. Go forth, my friends, take courage, and let's build the future together. Thank you.